y'all, and welcome to today's video. I have 4 palettes here from Ace Beauté. They are launching 4 palettes as a part of their floral collection. We are going to do 4 different eye looks. I'm going to show you all of these palettes. I'm going to swatch them for you, and I'm going to tell you what I think of them. It's going to be a good time. We're going to create, we're going to swatch, we're going to have some fun with makeup. Let's jump into it. Y'all, Ace Beauté sent me their new floral collection palettes. There are 4 palettes a part of this collection. We're going to go through each of these. I know these are launching on April 24th. I do not know the price point yet, but I will put everything, all the information I have, everything I can find will be down in the description box. So definitely check there if you're curious about anything. I do have an affiliate code with Ace Beauté. It is Heather. If you want to save, you don't have to, just letting you know. If you want, I'm going to put it all in the description box. But let's talk about these palettes because there are 4 different palettes. And something I noticed about these right away is the packaging. It's super duper cute. Each of these palettes, so we have Begonia, we have CALLA, we have FLEUR. Each of these, you can see it through the window in Flora. They have like flowers behind there or petals or whatever, and I think that's so adorable. These are 8-pan palettes. They're very slim. You can see compact, super duper cute. But let's go through these one by one. I want to show you close-ups and swatches so that you can make sure you see all the palettes before we get into the tutorial. This is Begonia. So we have this beautiful kind of like burgundy packaging with the flower petals in the background, and then let me show you a close-up and swatches of this one. This one may be the color story that kind of appeals to me the most. I really like these kind of deep mossy olive leaning greens. I like that we have some mauvey deep tones. I like that this palette goes from light to dark. All of that definitely appeals to me. It looks like this green shade may even be a duochrome. I know you already saw the swatches. I haven't swatched it yet. You're seeing them through the power of editing. But next up, I have CALLA. So CALLA is going to be our more neutral palette. You see we have some more like little flowers in the background of here. So now for the close-up, we have this palette that's really neutral, cool leaning. I think this is very pretty. This one we do have 4 shimmers and 4 mattes, so we have a nice equal mix in this one. This palette has more mid-tone to dark shades rather than some light thrown in, but I do think this color story for a neutral palette looks really pretty. After that, I have FLEUR. This is exactly how it looks. Purple flowers in the background. Now you can see nice and up close all the purples in this palette. This one we do again have the mix of mattes and shimmer shades. We have dark shades. We do have some light shades in this one as well. Super duper pretty. These look like some warm purple hues, so I'm looking forward to playing with this one. And last but certainly not least, we have FLORA. This bright yellow packaging, so cute, but wait till you see the inside. So beautiful. Now look at these yellows and these browns together. We even have like this red brown that I think is so beautiful. This one does have more mattes than shimmers. It looks like we only have 3 shimmers in this one. It looks like we have another beautiful duochrome in here. I am such a fan of this packaging. I think this looks really beautiful. I will say I don't love the pan shape. I like to use big fluffy brushes, small detailed brushes, all types of brushes. So I'm just, for me, it's not my personal preference, the pan shapes, but I really like the look of these. I cannot wait to play with these, dive into them, create some looks. So what I'm gonna do is prime my eye for shadow. I'm gonna zoom y'all in, and today I'm gonna do 2 different eye looks, one on each eye, and we're gonna get a feel for these palettes. Let's jump into it. Okay, I've got you nice and zoomed in so you can see the eyeshadow application, how they apply, how they blend, everything like that. And I did use my MAC paint pot in the shade Layin Low. And I'm going to start off first. Looking at this palette, I'm just really, really attracted to this yellow shade right here. I think this looks so pretty. So I'm going to pick that up on my Sigma brush. I'm going to use brushes from my Sigma favorites set for this eye look. So I'm just making sure I don't have any creases in my eye primer, because I don't set my eye primer. I just went straight in from the pan to my eye. And I'm picking this up and just like pressing it first, and then I'll start to blend. But I like to pack it on top of my primer first, just so I can get a lot of pigment, and then I can blend from there. Okay, so right now I'm going on my lower lash line. I just want to put this shade right here. You can see this shade is a little more red in tone, and then this one down here. This one looks really pretty. So I'm just going to press that under the lower lash line and then lightly drag it kind of back and forth, just like that. Okay, now what I want to do is grab this more tapered brush, and we're going to go into the darkest matte in this palette. I'm going to pick this up, and I want to build this right out here in my outer corner. So I'm going to lay it down first so that I get that nice depth, and then I'm slowly going to blend up and out just like this, and make sure that these layer well right here in this outer corner. Make sure I blend this out. Gonna meet it right down here with what we have going on the lower lash line. Back and forth. Just little blendy motions out here. Okay, I'm gonna go in with this beautiful shade right here. I'm gonna pick this up on my brush, and then I am gonna spray my brush with a little makeup mist, setting spray, whatever you wanna use is fine. You definitely don't have to, but I'm going to help minimize fallout, help make the shadow even more intense. Okay, so I'm just gonna look down into my mirror, and I want to put this shade all over my lid, but I'm not going to bring it out to this outer corner. I want to leave that dark brown matte there. And what I do with my shimmers is first I kind of press them on like this, kind of like press and pack, and then I go through and blend to make sure that I get in my little crinkles, make sure everything's nice and covered in shadow like this. Okay, now we are going to highlight the inner corner with this really pretty yellow shade. I'm picking this up on a kind of tapered but fluffy brush. I'm not going to spray my brush, but oh, that's beautiful. That is beautiful. I really want this to be very sparkly and light in the inner corner, so I'm just going to buff it in like that. This shade though looks really, really beautiful. Wow, I really like that. I definitely think that would be pretty all over the lid, on top of maybe like another shadow kind of as a topper. But that is beautiful. Okay, I think we're done with this look. I think we used 5 shades, just 5 out of the 8, but I'm really liking this. I think this looks super pretty, super fresh. Everything was easy to use, but I think I'm gonna leave it here. I like it. I'll definitely do liner and lashes, but let's do this other eye first. And for this eye over here, I want to do FLEUR, the purple palette. So let me put on my eye primer, and then we'll dip into these purple tones. Okay, so I kind of want to create the same shape over here since I'm doing different colors. I want to keep the shape, the level of intensity, all of that the same because I have places to go today. And when I'm wearing 2 different eye looks out, I like to kind of mimic the sides after each other, even though I'm using different shades. So I'm gonna grab the same brush I used earlier. I just have multiple of my sets because they're my favorite. And I'm going to start off with this really pretty lavender purple shade right here. All right, and I'm going to do the same thing going in first. I'm just going to pack this in the crease. And then once I kind of have that packed on, then I'm going to go and I'm just going to blend, blend, blend it up, blend it out, bring it down, just have a little fun blending. All right, now for the lower lash line, I'm going to go into this purple. This one looks really pretty. I like it. I like the way it looks in the pan. I want to see how it's going to look on my eyes. And I'm going to put this right on my lower lash line, just back and forth. You know how it goes, press and blend. Okay, now in the same place that we put this brown over here, we're gonna come to this eye, and I've gone back and forth, like, do I wanna go with this shade? But I think I wanna go with this one. Keep it nice and like kind of bright purples. I think that's gonna be really, really pretty. So I'm just going to do the same thing that I did on the other eye, kind of press this in right here at the lash line and then out, and then I'll just blend back and forth like this. Yeah, that's pretty. If you wanted it even a little deeper, you could use the other shade, or maybe you're not planning to shop these palettes, maybe you're not interested, maybe you can shop your stash for these shades. Hopefully my demo will still be helpful to you. Okay, for our lid shimmer shade, I was debating between this one and this one right here. This one's definitely lighter, a little more, I don't know, like almost like a silvery purple, whereas this one's a little more purple. So I want to use that purple. So I'm going to pick that up on my brush, and again, I am going to spray it just to help me minimize fallout. But look at this sparkle. Oh, that's so pretty. Okay, so I'm just once again looking down into my mirror, kind of pressing this shade on first, and then I'm going to blend, and that is pretty. That's giving me what I wanted it to give me. Sparkle and shimmer and prettiness. Now, last but not least, we are going to highlight the inner corner. So I'm going to grab this shimmer right here, again, fluffy tapered brush, and put that right on my inner corner. Just trying to get a little bit of like a lighter shade, some sparkle right there. And then I'm going to go in with liner and lashes, and I'll come back to show you how it comes together. But essentially, here are look 1, look 2. But let me throw on the mascara, the liner, all of that, and I'll be right back. All right, y'all, here are the finished looks. I will link my bronzer, blush, highlighter, lip color, eyeliner, lashes, all of that in the description box. So definitely check there in case you're curious. If not, no big deal. But I wanted to go for like a flared lash. I wanted to do like a purple liner, a burgundy liner over here, something to really like complement the looks, you know? So this is the FLEUR palette over here on this side, and then we have FLORA over here on this side. I'm digging both of these looks. I think they're fun. I think they're different. I mean, we have the same shape. So like I said, I'm going to be wearing these looks out today. And when I do that, I like to kind of create like the same type of vibe. I am loving like how this eye looks. Like, I want to say it's like something so pretty about yellowy, orangey tones mixed with browns and reddish browns. So I really, really like this eye look. And then this one, I feel like this is a very soft purple look that I'm into. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling both of these looks today. So far, I thought these palettes were very easy to use. But we do have 2 more looks to do. 2 more palettes to play with. So one last look. Look number 1, look number 2, and we'll move on in to looks 3 and 4. All right, look number 3, let's do it. I have my eye over here primed with my Sigma Ignite eye primer, and we're gonna do like a halo eye, spotlight eye, something like that. So what I want to do is grab my What's Up Beauty R104, and I'm gonna go into the, oh, did I even say we're using the CALLA palette, the neutral one for this eye. So I'm gonna pick up this shade right here, and this is a big fluffy brush, and it does fit in the pan nicely. I know I said, like, when I was first talking about these, how I was like, oh, you know, I'm not a huge fan of the pan shape. I'm not sure if my more fluffy brushes are gonna fit in there, but this one is probably as fluffy as I go, and it did fit in there really nicely. So I'm taking this, and this is just gonna be kind of the foundation for our look. So you can see it's going all in the crease or the socket. I prefer to say socket because you can see I have like a crease where my socket is, of course. I have a crease here, like several for me, depending on your eye shape. So I like to go kind of in the socket and then up and out too to kind of help open my eye, but not anything complex, just blending, blending, blending. Then what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna keep the same brush, no big deal. And what I wanna do here is go into the shade right next to it, this shade that's just slightly deeper, but still matte. And I'm gonna put this right here in the outer corner. And then I'm gonna put it right here on the inner corner like this. So we're creating that really nice like depth in the inner and the outer corner. Okay, after that, I'm going to jump to a little smaller brush, the R102, and I'm going to use this deep dark brown right here. I'm going to pick that up, and I'm going to put it also in the outer corner, but I'm going to keep it a little lower. And I'm just going to kind of press it right there for some depth. And then I'm going to do it right here on the inner part too. But I'm going to keep it a little closer to the lash line. I'm not going to bring it up as high. So I'm letting those 3 different depths of shade give me some dimension. So I'm just going to press it. I'm not going to worry about blending the middle because, listen, I'm covering that up with a shimmer anyways. Why would I waste time blending? Why would you waste time blending? Listen, we're busy. We're busy people. We're not going to blend when we're about to cover it up anyways. So just lightly blend, 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 blend. Don't over blend. Now, I'm going to grab my 106 and I'm going into this shade right here. So I'm going to pick this one up, and then we're going to go in with, wait, where is it? Then we're going to go in with this pretty, like, more kind of silvery shade. But first, I want to go with that one. Yeah. Okay. So look, first we're doing this one, and then I'll grab this one in just a second. Okay. Okay, I sprayed my brush a bit after I picked up the shadow, and I'm going to paint this right in the center of the lid. Just painting it like that, and then I'm going to come up right where my socket is, or where you want your socket to be. If you decide to take this above your lid, you can do that. I love when I see people who don't have such deep set eyes carry their like center shade all the way up to the brow bone. So beautiful. I do that sometimes too, but I really think it's pretty on that eye shape. But today I'm going to keep it just a little bit lower. So I'm putting it all in the center like this. Isn't that pretty? That's a really, really beautiful shade. Of course, I could leave it like this, but I don't want to. I'm grabbing a smaller brush, R111. These are all What's Up Beauty. And this is going to go in the center of that bronzy shade. And I'm not going to overblend. I just want it to go in the center of that. Just like that. Isn't that pretty? It gives even more dimension. And I'm gonna actually wipe this brush off because I want to use it again to do our lower lash line. Now for the lower lash line, I think I'm going to mix this dark shade right here with this shade right out here, this more kind of khaki color that we haven't used yet, and I'm gonna put that on the lower lash line. Okay, so I've got that on my brush. And I'm just gonna put that on the lower lash line, back and forth like this, not blending it too far, just kind of working it right there. Now for the inner corner, I have several options, but I think what I'll do is maybe just a little bit of this shade right here. This is another What's Up Beauty brush, and I'm just going to put that on the inner corner. So this is our finished eye look. Very, very simple, easy. Used a good bit of colors though. What do we do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 of the shades in this palette. Everything blended really easily, really beautifully. All right, I'll finish this look up with liner and a lash, but first let's do look number 4 over here. I want to do Begonia, this pretty palette. So let me wipe away my fallout. You can see I have a little bit of shimmer under the eye, totally cool. I'm gonna clean that up, put down some eye primer, and we'll play with this last palette. Okay, this is probably my favorite color story out of the 4 palettes. I think there's so many things that I could do with this palette. There's so many things and I'm like trying to decide what I want to do. So I think I'm going to start right here with this pretty mauve tone. I'm going to use brushes on this side from my favorite set with Sigma Beauty. And what I want to do is really just put this shade right here in the inner part of my crease like this, just kind of buffing it on, but I did kind of like pack it on first to make sure I get that intense color payoff. This is just, this is such a pretty shade, wow. Yeah, this is such a pretty shade, oh my goodness. After that, I'm going to grab this brush and I'm going to pick up this deep shade right out here. I think, oh, it's just so beautiful. So I'm going to lay this down and kind of press it on to this like outer part of my crease. Just kind of packing it right here close to the lash line. And then I'm going to kind of blend it up and out like this. Wrapping it just a little under the outer corner of the lower lash line, kind of connecting and just barely blending this really rich, beautiful purple. Okay, I'm gonna jump down to the lower lash line and pull in this pretty green color. Oh, I just wanted to put these colors together because I think they look so beautiful. So again, this is another brush from my Sigma set. All of the ones on this eye look will be, and I'm just gonna put that at the lower lash line. Gonna kind of pack it on and then going to slowly blend it out. Now, I've got to play with this beautiful green shimmer and this beautiful kind of icy shimmer right out here. All of the ones in this palette, beautiful, but we're going to start first with this pretty green. Okay, I'm going to take this that's beautiful, wow. I'm going to take this beautiful green shade and put that right here on the lid. And then I'm going to leave that outer portion of my lid with that deep dark purple matte. Now I did spray my brush after I picked up this shadow to help me minimize fallout and get even more impact. And that is looking great. Now, I'm loving, 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 loving that kind of green, yellowy, leaning gold type of color, but it's so pretty. I'm into it. Now I'm going to take that more like silvery champagne color. We're going to pop that right on the inner corner, and that's going to be this finished eye look. So here we have look number 3, look number 4. Of course, want to do liner and a lash, and then I will be back. Let me add in just a little bit more of that mauve. There we go. A little bit higher. There we go. Okay, let me do liner, lash, come back, give you my overall thoughts on these beautiful palettes. All right, y'all, I put on my Sugar Drizzle black liner on the upper lash line. For the waterline, I used Melt Slick Waterline Pencil in Cacao, just a brown. And then my lashes are Immortal from Unearthly. So that's what I used to complete this look. I love these looks. Look number 3, look number 4. Let me tell you what else is on my face, and then I'm going to kind of tell you like my thoughts on these palettes one by one. So I am wearing my Revolution Pro Goddess Glow Cream Contour Bronze in medium. Loving that. Topped with my Fenty Carmel Cutie bronzer. My lips are Sigma Infinity Point lipstick in New Mod. Sigma Glow Kissed highlighter palette, but the highlighter shade that I have on is Twilight. I believe this is a single as well. I'm wearing my Blend Bunny Bare Cheeks Face palette, and I have on these 2 shades mixed, Making Me Blush and In Charge, but it's more so Making Me Blush, the lighter orangey tone, and that's what I used. Let me tell you about these palettes. I think these are super duper nice palettes. I think they're small and compact, really, really nice for travel. Let's talk about these individually. So CALLA, I think, very, very pretty. Again, small, compact. I like that we have an equal number of mattes and shimmers in here. I think they all perform beautifully, blended beautifully, no issues whatsoever. Really, really, really pretty. Very neutral, not warm, not cool. I do think we have a warm shimmer in here and a cool tone shimmer in here, which is nice. But overall, it's kind of right in that neutral line without being overly warm or overly cool. This one right here, Begonia, I think this would be my personal favorite. If I could only buy one, this is the one that I would pick. I think this palette has the most versatility for me and my personal preference, the eye looks that I like to do. I really like how I could stick with these 4 shades and create a look in this color family. I could stick with these 3 shades, it gets something green. I could add in this purple to either of these and deepen things up, get something that brings in some purple. I like that we have the good mix of mattes and shimmers, just a couple less shimmer, well, one less shimmer actually, but overall really, really pretty. Now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, sorry, 5 mattes and 3 shimmers. This is my personal preference. If you were like, Heather, I want to buy one, I'm not sure which one, this one I just think is the most versatile, the funnest to me. And if you wanted to do a neutral type look with this, just stick with this color and this color right here, and you'll still have something very neutral leaning. Now, Fleur is the purple one. I think this one is pretty if you were looking for some purple shades. Really, really pretty. I like that we have the 4 purple shimmers. I like that we have light shades, mid-tone shades, and then deeper shades. But I would say my second favorite of the 4, like if I bought Begonia and I'm like, I want to buy one more, it would definitely be Flora. This yellow palette, the tones they picked, really, really beautiful. I mean, based on my personal preference, of course, this one is my favorite. I think it has the most versatility. It's more me. This one would be my second choice though, because I really like that we have these beautiful yellowy, warm red neutral tones, and then we have these beautiful yellows too. I like that we have this more orangey yellow and this more like dandelion yellow. I like how we have this very yellow, sparkly, almost topper type shade right here. We have this duochrome right here, and then we have this gold. So if you wanted to create a neutral look, you could. If you wanted to create an all yellow look, you could. You can mix. I just think this one is also another very versatile palette. And I like when we have these curated color stories, when we have some versatility. I think that is super fun. You saw you saw the quality. Like, that's why I think the tutorials and talking through the eye looks is so helpful. That's what I look for in reviews, because I don't want to just like hear why you like it. I save that for like speed reviews at the end of the month, beginning of the month, whenever. I'll speed review palettes. I'll go through them each. I'll tell you my final thoughts on everything. But I love having videos like this where I can show you me applying it so that you can see it's blending, it's pigmented, it's pretty, like how it's looking, or it's not blending. If it's not blending, you know, sorry, I've got a hair on my face. It's just driving me crazy, but that's okay. I really like these looks though. I think these are super pretty. I'm excited to keep playing with these palettes. I think everything blended well, super easy, pigmented, pretty. I am excited about these. I really enjoy Ace Beauté. I think they're so fun. Last year buying their Paletteopoly palette really made me like, wow, this is a brand to watch out for. So I'm so happy about this palette. I'm so happy Ace Beauté sent me these palettes. Do let me know what you think. Are you on a low buy, a no buy? If you are, definitely shop your stash. See if you can recreate these looks. If you are interested in picking these palettes up, I will leave my code and all the launch information down in the description box. Thank you again for watching. I hope you have an amazing day, and I will see you in another video. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye!